Many of us have been home a lot lately, and maybe you're thinking of getting into YouTube, streaming, doing a podcast. But what about audio? How do you get your audio to sound clear? No hiss, no thin sound. Well, one option is to spend thousands of dollars on gear. For example, the stuff we're using, Sennheiser MKH416 Mix Pre 10, does the job just right. Audio sounds clear. We're getting really great results, but that stuff's honestly too complicated and expensive for most people's needs. And that's where something like the Audient EVO 4 comes in. This is a device that's $130 in the US, and it's small, it's easy to use, and to tell you the truth, I think for the far majority of people, the quality between the setup I just described right now and that interface and a cheap mic would pretty much be identical. And if you're doing YouTube, if you're doing gaming videos, you're streaming, you're doing your podcast, you're just looking for something clear, for something that has that professional sound. And that's where I think this Audient comes in. So I've been a huge fan of Audient for many years. I got my Audient ID14 back in 2016. That was one of the first reviews on this channel. I was really blown away with that audio interface because at $300, it provided really professional results. The sound quality was what I was looking for years before that. Through all these USB mics I was going through, I was always trying to get that full, warm sound, and I don't feel like I really got there until I got an Audient interface. After that, I ended up upgrading to the ID44. That's their top-of-the-line interface. That thing was awesome, but it's kind of interesting to say that I've switched now fully to this EVO 4 as my main interface, this little $130 interface. I decided to stop using my ID44 entirely and switch to this because, to be honest with you guys, it sounds identical. All right, guys, you are now hearing me on the Audient EVO 4. Do you hear any difference? Let me know down in the comments. I'm guessing the answer is probably no. Again, the recorder we were using earlier, the Mix Pre 10, is a $1,200 recorder. This interface is $130 here in the US. That's a pretty big difference, but I think generally for things like YouTube, for podcasts, for the far majority of applications, you're gonna get that professional, full sound you're looking for out of this thing. It's hard for me to recommend anything more expensive, to be totally honest. I want to take a moment to talk about our channel's sponsor, Artlist. All the music you've heard in this video, all the music you hear in all of our videos is directly from Artlist. I was super happy when they reached out about sponsoring the channel because I've been using Artlist since 2018. I've been really happy with their product to the point where I listen to some of the music just while I'm studying or working on the computer because I like it so much. One of the hardest things about YouTube is finding music that doesn't have copyright. On Artlist, you're going to find a wide variety of genres. All of it's really well recorded. You get high quality files. Pretty much any mood you need for a project or for a video, as long as you're willing to take the time, you're going to find it. If you sign up, you get 2 months free with our link in the description, and you're also able to support the channel at no extra cost. I reached out to Audient. They actually provided this product to me for a review. I'm able to keep the product on the condition I put out a review. That's all they had to do with this video. My opinions are my own. But I reached out to Audient and they told me that they actually designed all new preamps for this interface that are all digital. So that allows this interface to be used in a simpler way. For example, you got 2 inputs, so you can just press 1 and 2, and you're able to just switch this dial to either change gain on 1 or 2 of the inputs, or go over here to change the headphone volume, or change the volume between your computer's volume and the actual microphone volume. Something that's super handy if you're trying to, I don't know, stream a game at the same time as recording yourself. I use this all the time. And they also included a smart gain feature, which is pretty cool, and I'm happy to say actually works quite well. You press this button, you start talking to the mic, you press it again, and your gain is set. The quality you're gonna get out of this interface is just really excellent, full, professional, and kind of incredible when you consider how cheap this thing is. And with that cheapness, there is something to consider. You're not really getting a very good build quality. I personally am a big fan of the design. I like that it's black and it's minimalistic, but it's not really very well built. This thing is pretty hollow, creaks a little bit. To me, there's a little bit of weirdness here with the design in the sense that this looks like this top piece wants to come off, but you shouldn't take it off. This is just part of the device. So a little bit of a disappointment in that area, but to be honest with you guys, they had to make some sacrifices to achieve this price point. I'm not complaining. The sound quality is what matters, and the design. And I don't know if you guys can tell from how I'm holding it, but this thing is really small. So if you're working with a small desk space, that's also a really great point about it. So do I recommend this thing? Yes, 100%. Like I literally said earlier, I have moved from my $700 interface to this $129 one. I'm not looking back. I'm not missing anything besides build quality, and I would say that it would be nice if this thing had 2 headphone outputs. It only has 1. That was something I got used to on the Audient ID44. But again, for the price, I'm not complaining at all. Yeah, Audient EVO 4. Check it out. If you decide to buy it, use the links we have in the description. We get a small kickback. There's no extra cost to you.